Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In honor of my new book, Here Comes the Drama, a Ferris and Sloan story, launching tomorrow, I thought we'd do things a little different today. I was thinking it'd be fun to go back to the first skit where it all started and react together. And then at the end, I'm going to answer 10 questions that I keep saying about the Ferris and Sloan story, process, book, and all of the above. And then at the very end, I'll tell you how you can get on the list to get part one free if you haven't already, and join the pre-order list as soon as possible. So let's get into it. Let's react to the skit that started it all together. Here we go. I've not watched this in a while. So let's see. I'm going to pause and we'll kind of react together because I'm sure I have a lot of thoughts.
Oh, I just know she's doing this to get my son away from me. Mom, what are you talking about? Sloan isn't doing anything. Did you not just hear them?
Okay, I already have to pause. So that first line there, I just know she's doing to get my son away from me. I still remember when I was sitting in my daughter's room, putting her down for bed one night, and that line just popped into my head. And I was like, that's a great start of a skit. At that point in time, I had no clue what was going to transpire. It was going to just be a mini skit. And see, I don't know, I had no real plans for what was going to happen. I can also already tell that the accessories have really changed up. I don't know where it changed or how it changed, but apparently Jenny was wearing something different.
Hear them? They come waltzing in here on Thanksgiving to tell us they're not going to be here on Christmas? Yeah, they planned a vacation together. I think that's perfectly acceptable. But Christmas? There's 364 other days of the year. Why do they have to do Christmas? Well, they've been together a long time. I'm sure they're bound to have some holidays together. You just watch. This is how it all starts, then soon they're just not going to show up for certain holidays. Mom, you should be happy that Ferris found someone that he loves and wants to spend time with. Whatever. Now can we go back out there, put on a happy face, and enjoy the rest of Thanksgiving? Fine. How's this?
Oh my gosh. Okay, it's so funny going back and watching it, knowing I just wrote this part in the book. The book's going to add so much more behind the scenes, so much more detail, and it's really evolved these characters that I never saw before. So let's just keep watching. Okay.
Sorry guys, we're back. So that's so exciting. Where are you guys going? We're going to Santa Monica. I've never been before, and Ferris knows I hate the snow, but he planned the whole thing, so he can tell you more. Yeah, I mean, I don't have too much planned yet, but I thought we'd get away from the snow and just enjoy ourselves. That sounds amazing. What do you think, Mom? Doesn't that sound awesome? Yeah, it sounds great. Maybe we should all go. Funny, Mom. No, I'm serious. Wouldn't it be great? Ed, shouldn't we go? Katie, we can go to Santa Monica any other time. I don't think we need to interrupt our son's vacation with his girlfriend. He just needs some convincing. It'll be so much fun to all get together. Yeah. Sloan, I'll meet you in the car. Just 1 second. I want to talk to my mom really quick. Yeah, sure. Hey, Mom, you got a second? Can I talk to you? Sure, of course. Look, I'm so excited for this vacation. I'm going to start.
Okay, I noticed that Ferris also has changed his hat. Again, I don't know where these things change. As I kind of create skits, sometimes I just grab accessories I have. I've gotten much better with tying accessories to certain people. So it's really funny to look back. It's almost like when you watch a show and you go back to season one, you're like, whoa, I don't remember that character looking that way. And of course, it's all me, but these accessories have changed.
Talk to you? Sure, of course. Look, I'm so excited for this vacation. I'm going to start planning tonight. No, Mom, you can't come. What do you mean? Why? Because I'd really like this trip to be just Sloan and I, so we can have some alone time. But, we'll get our own hotel room and, we'll have our own time, but we could just meet up for dinners and stuff. No, I'm sorry. I have this whole thing planned out for us, and I would really like it just to be the two of us. Well, if Dad and I come, we'll pay. It's already paid for, but look, I need to tell you why it just needs to be the two of us. Okay. Actually, I kind of want to tell Dad, too, really quickly. Hey, Dad. Hey, Ferris, what's going on? So really quick, I wanted to talk to you and Mom really quickly to let you know the reason why I want to take Sloan on vacation, just the two of us. Oh man, I think I know where this is going. So I actually plan on surprising Sloan and proposing the first night we're there. Proposing what? Come on, Katie, you know what he means. Oh my gosh, Ferris, congratulations, this is so exciting. Marriage, Mom, what else am I going to propose? What? But you hardly know her. Are you sure she's the right one for you? I don't consider 2.5 years together hardly knowing each other. Yes, I know she's the right one for me. But you're so young, maybe just give it some more time. I think what your mom is trying to say is congratulations. Congratulations. It hasn't even happened yet. He's just telling us his proposed idea. He still has to think about it. Okay, well, I can see where this conversation is going. Thank you, Dad, for the congratulations. Sloane's waiting in the car, so I gotta get going. But, thanks, I guess. See, I was right. A mother's gut is always right.
Okay, I did not remember it ending at that spot either. That just shows I really was not planning on it being this long, crazy thing. But people from the beginning were so drawn into the characters and they wanted to know more. And I was having so much fun creating this. And I really feel like this is what started it all. This is what allowed me to really like open up my mind and create these long storylines, these long skits. And this is just still so crazy to me that it's grown to what it has today. And one thing you'll also notice, which I still get asked all the time, so I'm just going to clarify it again, is that the names have changed. So from season 1 to season 2, I started changing the names because if you guys have been following me for a while, you know that in the beginning when I was doing skits, I was kind of messing up names. Like I would call someone Susie and their real name was Sarah. And people would be like, wait, is it Susie or Sarah? And I'm like, I don't know. I have like a million things in my brain and I'm just trying to like remember names. So what I started doing to remember names better is I would grab them from like a movie or a book that I was really familiar with or TV show. And it allowed me to be like, okay, mom is so-and-so, dad is so-and-so, sister is so-and-so. And so, of course, like that day I just randomly thought of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And it's a movie I grew up watching a million times over, right? And so as it got bigger and bigger, I was like, okay, I want people to know that this is its own separate story. I literally just grabbed the names randomly so I could remember names. And I don't want to confuse people. So once I started talking to a literary agent and we were going to make it into a book, I was like, okay, let's change everybody in the supporting cast's name. We'll keep Ferris and Sloan the same, but we're going to change the spelling of Sloan. So there's a little more behind the scenes into why she's named Sloan, which we will get into in the book. So if you read the book, you'll learn why she's named Sloan and why he's named Ferris. And it's kind of a cool little homage there. So that also goes into why the first question, which is how I came up with the names of Ferris and Sloan. So it wasn't necessarily inspired by anything, but I was just trying to find movies and TV shows so I could remember like character names and skits better. And then when I would write notes in my phone, I would be like, okay, it's this skit. These are the character names, just so I wouldn't mess them up. I still do mess up names all the time, but when they become longer storylines, I tend to remember them a little bit better. So you'll see like Katie was changed to Kate, Ed was changed to Ted, and I just made them their own person and really just developed the characters a little bit better. Okay, that was like not really a smooth transition, or maybe it was smooth. I didn't really announce it. So into the questions. So these are top questions. I'm doing different Q&As on all the platforms, so I'm trying to answer some different ones here. You'll see on tomorrow's podcast episode, there's some different questions there as well, and I'm also reading a sneak peek of the book. So if you're not subscribed to the podcast, make sure you subscribe because I'm reading like the first couple pages of the book. Number 2, when you made the first skit, did you expect it to turn into a whole storyline? No, I think I just mentioned this, but I just randomly thought of the line about she's taking her son away from her while he's putting my daughter down for bed one day. And I was like, that sounds like a cool villain. Let's just start this story and see what happens. Maybe I thought like 2 at most, 3 at most. Did I think a whole season, 16 parts, then a second season, and now we're into a third season? No, absolutely not. Like I said, I think this was literally the tipping point and what changed everything for my content. It was just really cool to like see the support and excitement from all of you guys and your reactions to everything because it was all in real time. Like you guys were learning with me and I'm already looking back and I'm like, whoa, I've changed so much when it comes to creating content. Like you can see the towels in my background when I recorded my bathroom. Anyways, okay, number 3. What was the moment you realized Ferris and Sloan had something special that people wanted more? I don't know if there was like one particular moment. I remember when I got to maybe episode like 5 or 6, that's when people really started commenting like, this needs to be a book. I want this on my TV, or I'm choosing this over Netflix, or I'm canceling my Hulu subscription to watch this. And that was like, oh, this is cool. I'm someone that really deals with imposter syndrome. So I'm always like, no, people are lying. It's not that good. But it was really cool and really reassuring to see so many people loving the story. And then when I had a literary agent reach out to me and she was like, I see you like creating, I see you like writing, you've talked about it. what can we do to make this a book? And even at that point, I was like, is this really happening? And so yeah, it's just been like little things here and there that I'm just like, this is crazy cool. Number 4, did you always know who the villain would be, Kate, or did that develop over time? I always knew, because obviously with the walking in line that starts it all, I knew Kate would be the villain or the antagonist. However, I didn't expect her to be so dramatic and so crazy. There was even a point where I had her arc kind of like end on a happy note. I don't know if you guys remember. I don't want to spoil it if you guys haven't seen it and you just want to read the book. But there's a part where she kind of like lightens up a little bit, right? And at that point I like was like, okay, I think she's solved. But then I was like, does that really make sense? And we kind of like dove into that a little bit more when it came to writing the book too. So you'll see when you read the book that we really expanded on that a little bit and made it more dramatic, but also more realistic, because people don't usually just flip of a switch and everything's better. All they needed was a beach, right? So that's where we changed some things in the book without giving too much away. So yeah, I did not know she'd be as intense or dramatic and crazy. 5, which character was the most fun to write as the series grew? I would say Kate. I mean, Kate's the villain, so I feel like it's always fun to write a villain or write an antagonist because they're not your average person. Like, I don't know anyone in my life like Kate. Maybe she has some tendencies of people I've known in the past, but overall, I've never known someone quite like that. And so I think that's so fun to write something that's so outrageous when it comes down to her, style, how she walks in a room, the things she says. It just makes it more fun. Jenny's fun too because she's very like the comedic relief. She just says what's on her mind, right? But she's also that peacekeeper. So she's fun, but Kate is just, I don't know. She's a whole new level. 6, how different is the full book from the original skits? What changed or expanded the most? So without giving too much away, expanded the most, you're getting more character development. You're getting more behind the scenes, like how people met, why they act certain ways, their background. You're getting more into these different developments and different events in their lives. So if you think about, like, let's say the last year of your life, right? If someone just got a 2-minute video every single month, that's how like the skit would be, right? So you just get a 2-minute video. Now think of it if everyone that knew you saw a 5-hour video over the last year. So they're gonna get a lot more detail, behind the scenes, interactions between real people, right? So like as a one-person content creator, I can only do so much, right? I can't like show different like scenarios. I have to kind of describe it with my voice. And so this gives so much more behind the scenes to it, what their houses look like, what they do on a daily basis, what they do for work, why they are the way they are, maybe. So for what changed, there's some added stuff that you're going to be like, whoa, I did not see that coming. There's a lot of new twists and turns. There's stuff that I took out. There's stuff that I added. So it's going to be a whole new experience. Number 7, if you could describe Sloan and Ferris's relationship in 3 words at the start and 3 words now, what would they be? At the start, it's hard because it starts right with the drama, right? But let's talk before the proposal. Like proposal time. I would say fresh, exciting, and trusting. Okay, and then instead of saying 3 words to describe them at the end, because I don't want to spoil anything, I will say like in the midst of the drama, I will say testing, growing, loving, strong. Yeah, we'll go with one of those. I know it said 3, but I'm trying to like not give too much away, but I don't think a word's going to give anything away. Number 8, what was your process like turning a short skit into full scenes and dialogue? So it's a little backwards from how I would normally do it when it comes to like just writing something, right? So what I basically did was transcribe all of the skits. So I had all of the dialogue so I could follow the basic storyline. Then I split it up into parts because I was like, if I do this all as one, it's gonna be very overwhelming to me. And I'm someone that needs to work by like deadlines. So originally I was like, okay, maybe 5 parts. I'm not really sure how long to make each one. Because originally it was going to be just short stories, and then I was going to do a novella if they wanted to purchase together. But I added so much that it ended up being a full novel. So when it came to then doing a full writing of it, like the full book, I would then just take each chunk by chunk, add in all the details, move some things around, delete some dialogue, add in some new dialogue, and just completely shift it. So it was there to kind of help guide it, but you'll see a lot of the dialogue changes because I didn't want it to just follow exactly what the skit had, because then it doesn't add anything new. So you'll find lots of new surprises and new twists that you weren't necessarily expecting. I also made sure to like kind of go back and watch the skit if I was ever like, wait, I don't remember this part, what happened here, who was talking to who, because sometimes when I would get the dialogue, it didn't really make sense because I was jumping from character to character. So it made it very confusing. So I wanted to make sure to clear that up, and then I would just kind of change who said what at certain points. Okay, number 9. Is there a character you wish you could have included in even more scenes? Honestly, I don't think so. I feel like I included them the right amount that we needed them. So like the main characters, so obviously Kate, Ferris, Sloan, they're gonna be involved a little bit more than others, and then there's some supporting characters that are going to be down a little bit more and not as much, but they're just there to kind of like support the characters. So no, I don't see anyone that I'm like, ooh, I feel like I should have had them involved a little bit more. However, I will say, compared to the skit to the book, there's characters that you're going to learn a lot more about that you did not see as much in the skits. Number 10, without spoiling anything, what's one thing you hope readers feel when they finish Ferris and Sloan's story? Okay, yeah, without spoiling anything, and I think this goes for all of my skits, why I share all these different scenarios and situations and conversations is just to learn to have boundaries and to respect your own space. You don't have to, relate to the wedding scene or events or be in that part in your life, but I think boundaries are always really important, and to communicate and have these conversations that might be a little more difficult. I feel like I'm learning through my own content because, as I say so many times, I'm a recovering people pleaser. I'm a yes girl. Like, I've always just thought of myself as like, if I say yes, I'm nice, I'm helpful, I'm doing things for others. But as people always say, and as I've said before, when you are saying yes to everybody around you, you are saying no to yourself. So I think it's just okay that we learn that it's okay to say no and have boundaries. And boundaries don't make you a mean or bad person. There's a lot we can learn, but in general, it's an entertainment book. It's a book that I want you to be able to laugh with, cry maybe, and just enjoy the characters because it's goofy, it's outrageous, and it's just a lot of fun. Okay, so that's all the questions I have for today. If you guys have any other questions that come up, please comment them below and I'd be more than happy to answer them without spoiling the book or anything coming up in the future. So I want to tell you guys again, in case you don't know, how you can get part 1 for free, which is coming out tomorrow. Sign up for my newsletter. The link will be below. And if you join that list, you will get part 1 sent to you for free. Now, the parts, if you get them in parts, they're going to be sent as a PDF that you can just, read on your phone or computer, print it out if you want, but it's a basic PDF. I did make it look cute, but it's a little bit different than actually getting the ebook. So tomorrow you can also pre-order through either Amazon or Barnes & Noble, the printed or digital version. The printed version from Amazon won't be available till probably June 12th. That is when all books will be released as well. So pre-orders really help though to see the interest and really help understand like how many people are really excited and waiting for this book. So that really helps just with the creation of the book and then future books possibly coming out. So if you're not on that list, make sure you click the link below to join the list and be a part of that. And as I mentioned, and so many people asked before, what is coming up for Ferris and Sloan? What's in the future? I can't say too much, but there's always wheels turning up here of more things that I can create for you guys. I mean, as you guys know, right here, this is the shirt for the skits. We are in season 3 of the skits. But now that I'm also writing, I'm making sure to have them be enough different where you get different things out of each one. Obviously, the characters are there, but the storylines are going to be a little bit different. I have a lot of ideas for mini stories coming up, as well as future books coming up. So get on my email list, follow me on all the platforms, and you'll be updated with all that stuff coming out. All right, that is all I have for you guys this week. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you next time. Bye now.